Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Sammy Leggett here representing Team JVS. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't think you can. Hold on one second. Let me do one thing. Testing 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Okay, cool. Now you can hear me. All right. So look, I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to waste any time. Part of the reason why I'm so sporadic with this is because this is just came in. So Variety just reported that Godzilla versus Kong release date, it moves back a week. Now I'm going to go ahead and just put the whole entire link in so you can kind of see what exactly they're reporting outside of this actual tweet. It moves back a week. There we go. Godzilla vs. Kong is on the move again. Shortly after Warner Brothers bumped the film's release date 2 months earlier than expected from May the 21st to March the 26th, the studio postponed its domestic premiere by another week. Now Godzilla vs. Kong will be debuting March the 31st simultaneously in the movie theaters and in streaming service on HBO Max. Now, Monster Mashup will launch internationally where HBO Max is not available ahead of the North American release on March the 26th. That gives them a whole week of international usage, which is really good in the long term of everything else. Now, the reason why I wanted to even go into this is because of this one tweet right here. I'm gonna go ahead and peg this on top of the overlay because she comes up with a lot of theories and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but I want to go ahead and get into them now. So Grace Randolph state this: the hashtag Snyder Cut won. Hooray! Godzilla versus Kong domestic push to 3/31st. So the Snyder Cut on March 25th. Trailer very soon. Now, I'm going to say this to be very clear to you guys. And I want you guys to actually see me and hear me. I don't know what I did with the shirt, but there has been a small rollout of merchandise for the Snyder Cut. It is very apparent. I don't know if I can pull up the link here. I don't think I had the link available to me readily. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. DC Shop, they actually got it where you can go ahead and purchase. Hold on, there it is. Yep, I do got it. Let me see if it's actually active and still shows Steppenwolf up there. Yep, sure does. So I'll go ahead and post it up right now. So they've actually been rolling out merchandise for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it's even labeled in states Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, Zack, when he did his interview with Grace Randolph, she may have some inside information, said that right after the new year, stuff would start to roll out, and then in February, things would go and kick into high gear as far as marketing and production. And so far, what they've got out are these t-shirts. They've got the Steppenwood t-shirts, like 2 different color variations, 2 different designs, and then they've got like 3 or 2 different designs, technically for Darkseid, which is really cool. I actually ended up purchasing this one, which is dope. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about all this is all theoretical. I don't have any insider information on any of it, but I'm thinking that the moment that Zack kind of left his Vero post, and I've talked about this before, I've been kind of on the fence with, did this man really and truly want this to be a 4-hour film that's just straight out and that's it? Or did he want it to be episodic? Did he want it cut and dissected into 4 different rows and then dispersed evenly? And so the reason why I asked that question is because I went back and I actually found footage where he said that it would work a lot better for it to be episodic. When he went and did the JustCon, he was even saying that having it roll out into different sections would work a lot better. Now, I think it's possible what Grace is saying is possibly true, that maybe, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League will come out in between March the 18th or the 20th or the 25th, somewhere in between that bubble, which would give it about a good 2 weeks of breathing room in between. But it would only work if it's coming out as a one-shot. Now, why this happened, I don't know. I personally feel like for the streaming service, I agree with Garza and Ben when they were going and having their ramblings before, like last week, I believe, where they were talking about the prospect of should it have been come out as a full film or should it come out episodically? If it comes out episodically, you draw an audience in, you get more people to stay subscribed to continue this journey. And then on the last point, you go and have the full-fledged thing out. Now, what if there's a situation like this? Now, I'm gonna make sure I got my calendar here because I don't know if I'm just spitballing or this is just all BS that I'm saying. So say, hypothetically speaking, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So on the 26th, when it was initially supposed to drop, which is Godzilla King of the Monsters, now it's coming out on the 31st, which is weird. But even different than that is, let me go to this deadline really quick, this deadline article. And I don't have a lot of time, so I'm sorry I'm kind of rushing this and spitballing this, but I want to get my point across as best I possibly can. Here it goes right here. So Deadline kind of put up 5 days later slate line. So now James Wan Malignant sets a due date and is showing that Converse Months open closer to Easter. Just in, James Wan's upcoming horror Malignant now is opening September the 10th. So they are starting to iron out their slate. They've already done, from my understanding, everything for January, February, and then now March. The only big problem, well, it's not necessarily a problem, but it's an in-between situation, is that when it comes to disbursement and it comes to things coming out, on the 19th, if I'm not mistaken, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is coming out on the 19th. And now you got Raya and Ryan and the Last Dragon. I think it's also coming out sometime in March as well. So now you're getting like a whole flooded kind of situation. But my thinking is it possible that they can still make this a week-to-week situation for the month of March, where the last thing that kind of happens on the 26th or the 25th or whatever, that you have all four. So say, hypothetically speaking, on the March the 4th, right? On March the 4th, you release out the first part of the Snyder Cut, right? Or March the 3rd, March the 5th. Let's just do it that way so we can keep it on a Friday basis. Thursday would counteract a lot of stuff with WandaVision, but whatever. But say we keep it to the 5th. First episode comes out. The 12th, second episode comes out. 19th, then you got the 3rd, and then the very last one, 26th. Then that 26th, you go and release it everywhere, in cinemas everywhere, and everybody gets to see it, even on an international basis, and then you don't lose face for anything. Now, what would really technically make more sense if they're dispersing it as a whole movie, they wouldn't go and put these two films out on the same exact month. Technically, it'd be better to put the Snyder Cut out on February or in April or in May, even though I don't want that. I just want the movie to succeed and be able to flesh out most evenly without any kind of middle ground one way or another. But if it's coming out episodically, this could still technically work for the benefit of HBO Max, benefit of whatever AT&T is trying to do with their clout right now. Right now, AT&T is winning, in my personal opinion. Like, honestly, I had a whole discussion about this, but with the Raya and the Last Dragon, I haven't seen the trailer yet. I will be doing a reaction or review to it. But the fact that that's coming out in premiere and you got full-fledged films coming on HBO Max, why would I pay for Raya and the Last Dragon when eventually in months later it's going to be for free? I'm not going to do that. So I'm saying right now, Warner Bros. Is in a place to win it. Win it all. All 2021 can be theirs. But I feel like they are not going to undercut the capability of what this Snyder Cut could do. Not just the movement, but the traction that it actually could do. The fact that they're doing a slow rollout of merchandise, and eventually toys are going to come, eventually trailers are going to come, eventually they're going to start promoting when the release date is. I do think, to what Grace is saying, that the release date is going to be coming soon. I just don't know what that release date information is going to be. And I really feel like it's contingent upon the fact if this is going to be distributed as a series or a film. I still cannot hold on to this harping fact that this one shot, saying one shot, is going to be the gospel, that this is just all coming out in one shoot and in March. I can't reconcile that in my head. You got a 4-hour movie that, okay, cool, people going to watch that week, and then what, a week and a half or 2 weeks later, you're going to watch a whole big spectacle of a slugfest. Like, I mean, honestly, Godzilla versus Kong is on the same level of what BVS anticipation was as far as just being a slugfest. And it has the potential of being one of the most entertaining movies this year. I'm just saying that they're not going to put themselves to shoot themselves in the foot unless they had to compromise on something when it came to that Legendary deal. It could be that they had to move Legendary's film up earlier to subside anything else they had. They didn't want to compromise the Dune release. They didn't want to compromise whatever the Matrix release is going to be later on. They didn't want to compromise anything else that's coming out, like I think August's Mortal Kombat. So maybe this was their pivot point for Legendary to non-compromising. But again, you don't invest $70-something million in finishing something for the distribution to just be annulled. Not just that, the international implications of the Snyder Cut. So I just put it in you guys to think about that. Yes, could it come out on the 25th? Absolutely. The 25th is on, let me look at it one more time. This is March. The 25th is on a Thursday. I'd rather put it on a Friday, but whatever. Who cares? One way or another. I'm just saying that what would be more interesting is if from the 4th of March until the 25th of March, it would be that 4-episode excursion, which would deflate a lot of the craziness that would be happening on the Disney Plus side with WandaVision, with them trying to anticipate stuff for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There would be a lot of momentum there to kind of like, okay, like we got our slugfest going on. I think what's going to be really interesting, real talk, is when the Super Bowl happens. Imagine during the Super Bowl, not only do they have a Falcon and the Winter Soldier trailer, not only do they have a trailer for something like, I don't know, Mortal Kombat, not only do they have a trailer for, of course, you know what I'm saying, Space Jam, but you got a Snyder Cut trailer, fam. People would go nuts. So I'm just saying that there's a lot that they can push this. And I don't think we should just keep this in one bubble of thinking that the film of a whole just has to come out during this time. I think that, in my personal opinion, I would either wait and have it be dispersed in April or have it dispersed in May, as opposed to a lot to be inflated at one given time during March. But my compromise to that is if you want to have it episodically go incrementally through March, I say go for it. Anyway, that's just food for thought. I think this is a really great time. This is an exciting time as us as consumers, regardless of where the money is going from Disney, from Paramount Plus, from Apple TV Plus, from HBO Max, what AT&T is doing. It's an exciting time as us consumers. Don't get all bent out of shape if the release date doesn't come and you want it. If the film, the Snyder Cut, releases in distribution as episodic, or if it comes out 4 hours, don't be upset. Like, at the end of the day, we're still getting content. We're still moving in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of our country's most chaotic of times. We're still being entertained. So I just want to make sure I leave that on a high note. Congratulations to, Legendary for being able to get this hype train going when it comes to Godzilla versus Kong. Congratulations to Zack Snyder. His film is coming out and pretty soon. And then everything that's going on with the slate is us as consumers, regardless of, how much you're paying for your streams, or hopefully you're getting it pretty free right now. We are going to get some content, and I will be here for it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Make sure you like this, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell button if you don't mind going to all notifications, because I got a lot of stuff coming for you guys. You just don't even know. But anyway, make sure you share this, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a blessed one. Peace, guys. Boop, 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 boop.